Hello people, welcome to my very first review, Injustice 2. The same developers behind all the Mortal Kombats and the previous Injustice. Does this one hold up? And in my personal opinion, it does. It holds up very well actually. So let's get into it. First, we have to talk about the roster. Alright, with 29 characters, this is one of the biggest, in recent years at least, that NetheRealm has put out to start with. And it's got characters from the first one that we all know and love, and then also some characters I've never even heard of, like Swamp Thing, but it still plays fantastic. First, I think it's right we start with the story. That's generally a focal point for some people. Not most people, especially fighting game fans, but for some people for sure. I think the story is good. It's not fantastic. The story is very much just the story of the first game done again, but this time with Brainiac in the mix. It's, you know, you got Superman and Batman fighting over who's right and who's wrong. Superman thinks it's good to kill people that are murderers and rapists, but then he's going through the list and he says thieves as well. And it's like, oh, whoa, Superman, I was with you a second ago, but now we're gonna kill thieves as well? Come on. So Superman is definitely more of a bad guy in this, and Batman obviously is the counterpart, and then they need to work together to stop Brainiac. But it's fine, it'll do. It's got amazing cutscenes, amazing facial animations. It also lets you pick your character, so maybe you don't want to play Black Canary, you want to play Green Arrow instead. So that adds, you know, a little fun dynamic part where you're not stuck playing a character that you don't enjoy. So the story, it definitely suffices, but what's really cool is they added this thing called the multiverse, and the multiverse is all single player fights, no online. But you fight these towers similar to the living towers in Mortal Kombat X, and they're constantly changing in and out. You know, you have like 5 hours to do a tower. If you do it in that time, you get the gear and points from it, and if you don't, then it just gets replaced by a new tower. It's a cool concept for sure, and it's definitely a lot of fun. They sprinkle these really hard bosses throughout. It really holds up. It's definitely a staple that I could see other fighting games copy and use for their own. But with that said, let's talk about the gear that you get from these multiverse and just fighting in general. The gear in this game, the gear system, it's a very controversial topic because some people are saying, oh, well, the hardcore are gonna just wreck the noobs even more because they're gonna play more, they're gonna have better gear. But ranked doesn't have stats matter and gear matter at all, right? And you can also turn off if both players agree, so that's, you know, a caveat. But you can turn off gear in regular matches too. But it's not like you can buy gear, right? You have to work for the gear. You can't just buy it. There's no, at least as far as I've seen, you can't buy loot boxes to get, you know, you have to play to get your gear. So I think they did a good job balancing that out. Whereas in Mortal Kombat X, they had the 3 variations per character. It was a nice thought, but people just ended up playing the best variation. So this, where you get different gear and it changes your stats, it changes your abilities. For instance, my Bane, you know, I have him set up so he does a ton of damage, but maybe he doesn't tank as well. Or you can make him super tanky, but then not do as much damage, or anywhere in between. I think it's a very cool system that lets you personalize your mains and keep it fresh all the time. Also, in Injustice 2, every single character feels unique, every single character feels fun to play, whereas before, in past Injustice, like, I hated playing Cyborg. He feels so much better in this. Another great thing I felt that they nailed in this is, obviously they still have the meter in this, where, you know, you meter burn special moves and it makes it do more damage, maybe sets it up for a combo. But what you can do now is meter burn dash, so then when you do this, you go across the entire screen and it takes a meter. So when you're dealing with spammers online, which we all deal with a lot, especially in this game, you can just, roll across the screen, get right on top of them, and do your combos. That being said, Deadshot is maybe a little bit too strong in this game, but hopefully he gets nerfed. But that's another topic. I think the ranked system is very good here, where it actually has an elo for once that you can see. So everyone starts out at 1200, and then you win games to go up and you lose games to go down, and you can see the top person in the world, and you can compare yourself and try to work your way up. It's simple, yes, but it's shocking how many fighting games don't incorporate elo that you can actually see and work on. So they did a great job with that. Another sweet thing I felt that they did was not only do you get different gear, you can also change the looks. So your Harley Quinn could be like pink and blue, or black and red, or green and yellow. It's you really can pimp out your character to make it him look the way you want to. I think it's a sweet all-around design. All the interactables don't do crazy amounts of damage. I think it's a really well balanced in that sense. So, Injustice 2, with its wider roster of characters and definitely enhanced mechanics, I have to say it's my favorite NetheRealm fighting game to date. And I'm definitely going to be putting tons of hours into multiverses, to ranked online. Like, I could just see myself playing this months to come, especially with Sub-Zero coming out. Come on, I'm sold. Definitely recommend you guys buy it. Don't wait for a sale, just go buy it. It's amazing. And yeah, I guess we'll call it here. I'm gonna go play some Injustice.